If you have ever wondered what a motor mover is, how they work, or what's involved in an installation, then hopefully this video will help. Let's use our demonstration unit to give a quick overview of Caravan motor movers. A motor mover is a device that is installed onto the Caravan that enables it to be manoeuvred without using a tow car or manually pushing the Caravan around. Motor movers are particularly helpful if the Caravan needs to be tucked into a tight location, such as the corner of a driveway, or like you can see here, allows you to position the Caravan on a pitch where a tow car couldn't help. It does mean that with a motor mover you don't need to worry about the dreaded reversing, but to be honest with you, being able to reverse a Caravan is a handy skill to have, just in case. Motor movers work by pressing a mechanism known as the roller assembly against the tyre of the Caravan. The roller assembly then uses an electric motor to turn the Caravan wheel, and this is controlled by a remote control. Two types of motor movers exist. These are known as manual or automatic versions, and this relates to how the rollers are engaged onto the Caravan tyre. For example, a manual version requires you to manually wind the motor mover roller onto the wheel. It's very straightforward. Simply attach a handle to the motor mover and engage the roller onto the tyre until you hear a click. Some motor movers will require you to do this for each side, while some can be engaged in one go for both sides of the Caravan. An automatic version winds itself onto the tyre when the given command is given from the remote control. Simply switch it on, give the correct button combination from the remote, and the mover will engage itself onto the tyre with no manual intervention. This is handy if you have some mobility issues or, just like me, enjoy a gadget. There are 5 main parts of a motor mover on a Caravan. As previously discussed, the roller assemblies, the control box. Its job is to tell the rollers which way to turn, how fast to go, all based upon the directions given by the remote control. The leisure battery, strictly not part of the system, but without an onboard leisure battery, the motor mover won't work. The next part is an isolation switch. You see, the control box is wired directly to the leisure battery, so to disable the motor mover when not in use, an isolation key is used to switch the system off. And finally, the remote control. So that's a quick look at the motor mover components. Now let's have a look at a typical installation. We are installing a PowerTouch Evolution automatic motor mover onto one of our Bailey Ridgeway Caravans. The installation today will be carried out by Louis, who is one of our experienced engineers at our Swindon branch. Here are all the components laid out on the floor. Let's make a start. The first step is to raise the Caravan and get better access to the wheels. The motor mover will be installed in front of the tyres, and to help with the installation, some wooden blocks are placed to give support to the roller assemblies. Once the roller assemblies are roughly in place, the centre bar is inserted from one side to the other. Next, the brackets are prepared, ready to attach the motor mover to the Caravan chassis. Mounting plates fit around the chassis, and a U-bolt connects the roller assemblies to these plates. At this stage they are loosely tightened up, as the rollers need to be aligned correctly. Each roller needs to be aligned correctly from left to right to ensure that the roller is square and straight to the tyre surface. The rollers also need to be a specific distance from the tyre surface too, and this is achieved by gently inserting a carefully measured piece of wood between the roller and the tyre tread. Once the rollers are aligned correctly, the mounting bolts are tightened up and extra locking bolts are fixed into the centre bar to hold the entire mechanism square and true. The next step is to deal with the wiring. This automatic mover has more cables than a manual mover, and this is for the roller and also the mechanism that pushes the rollers onto the tyre. Louis is preparing the cables for each side of the Caravan and inserting them through the chassis. To prevent damage to the cable, Louis is also mounting a section of plastic pipe. So if the cable becomes damaged, it will not short out to the bare metal of the chassis. The cable is held either side by 2 small P-clips to prevent movement or cables becoming loose. The cables are roughly routed underneath the Caravan so they join and make their way towards the battery where the control box will be mounted. In this Caravan, the battery is mounted under the floor, so Bailey provide 2 terminals in a handy location, and in this case by the main fuse panel under the front left seat. The control box is roughly placed and the cables attached to the correct terminals. It would be easy to connect the wrong roller to the wrong terminals, but experience and the addition of some insulation tape tells Louis which roller is which. With the control box wired up, the next task is to attach the isolation key. This will be mounted next to the fuse box with easy reach from the outside of the Caravan. Now, those who are paying attention will notice that the switch is being mounted the wrong way around. Don't worry, this is just to mark and drill the mounting screws in the correct location. With the isolation key installed and the sticker showing which way the key to be turned, attention is now focused on the final wiring of the system to the battery. With everything connected and all screwed down, it's time to test the motor mover. First a test to see the rollers spin back and forth, and then once activated, the Caravan is moved around to test its function. Once all the tests are complete, a quick tidy up of the leftover cables, some sealant is added where the cables enter the Caravan, and dust covers are added to the rollers. Just before the Caravan is signed off that the motor mover has been installed correctly, a more detailed test is performed to ensure that all the features work correctly. For further information about motor movers, why not head on over to our website, or to ask specific questions, arrange an installation, and for up-to-date pricing, give one of our 3 branches a call where we will be happy to help. Thanks for watching.